Krillin, originally just some bully martial arts kid, Yamcha, once a desert bandit, and Tien, once a renowned assassin. Each represent a unique facet of humanity in Dragon Ball. Krillin stands out as Goku's best friend, often coming in clutch. Tien embodies sheer determination and discipline, really just being a Chad. While Yamcha, well, he's Yamcha. Together they form the backbone of human representation in the world of Dragon Ball, containing Saiyans, Namekians, and other powerful beings. All these amazing characters and races that we see in Dragon Ball Super, yet the ones that actually started the story and journey are no longer shown as much. They actually got it pretty strong, surpassing limits that you wouldn't know about unless you rewatch or reread the story and actually pay attention to them instead of Goku, Vegeta, or any of your other favorite characters. But just how strong are they now? Who is the strongest Earthling Z fighter? And is there a way to make them more relevant in the series? That's what we'll explore today in this video. I'll cover Tien, Yamcha, and Krillin, comparing their strength across each saga, ranking them, and seeing how they match up against high tier or mid tier fighters. Plus, I'll dive into some hypothetical ways they can get even stronger in Dragon Ball Super. If you did wish that I covered Roshi in this video, well, just know once I reach the super portion, he is pretty relative to these three. But before we dive in, I want to hear from you in the comment section below. How strong do you think these human Z fighters are? Are they on Namek Saga Vegeta level, Frieza level, Cell level, or perhaps even Kid Buu level? And who is your favorite among the three? All originally starting off as Goku rivals, with Yamcha attempting to rob him, Krillin being his fellow student but often deceiving him, and Tien who once wanted to kill him. Despite their rocky beginnings, they eventually become rivals and settle their beef in the Strongest Under the Heavens tournament. In preparation for these battles, they grew immensely stronger. Krillin became so powerful that he gave the reincarnation of Demon King Piccolo a tough fight, making him question his ability to conquer Earth. Yamcha created an original technique that earned him praise from even God himself. And Tien, who destroyed the entire arena, believing that his Tri-Beam technique was too much for even Goku, who had defeated King Piccolo just an arc prior. While they accomplished their goal of becoming some of the strongest martial artists on Earth that made many friends who pushed them to reach even higher, their friendly rivalries inspired them to keep training and improving. However, their lives took a dramatic turn when Earth faced attacks from the Saiyans, pushing them to train under God himself, Kami. They each attained new powers and unique techniques. Krillin with his Destructo Disc and Tien with an enhanced version of Tri-Beam called Neo Tri-Beam, also known as Shinkikyo. These techniques proved formidable enough to injure Nappa, a mid-class Saiyan warrior, capable of casually destroying cities and moons with a flick of his fingers. In terms of power levels, Yamcha was the lowest at 1480, Krillin followed at 1770, and Tien barely edged over at 1830. This meant that they can all defeat Raditz, Goku's older brother from the start of Z, who was already overpowering Goku and Piccolo. Maybe not Yamcha, but he could prevail with his martial arts prowess. The comparison between Krillin and Tien is particularly intriguing. When bloodlisted, it boils down to who can execute their attack first: the Kikyo, capable of one-shot opponents on par with Tien, or the Shinkikyo, which allows for rapid successful blasts. On the other hand, the Destructo Disc can cut opponents in half, but it tends to move slowly enough for opponents to react to it. Only a fifth of it is caught off guard. In a direct confrontation, the Shinkikyo likely holds the advantage due to its speed and devastating power, capable of surpassing Tien's usual limit. During this saga, Krillin's prowess as a martial artist was exceptional, demonstrating incredible skill, and I actually believe that Krillin was a better martial artist during this saga than Tien. While the human Z fighters couldn't stand up to the Saiyans, they grow even stronger during the Namek Saga, and things get pretty crazy. With most of the human Z fighters gone, Krillin the lone survivor, minus the Great Yajirobe of course.
Fear not, citizens! Hope has arrived! Because I am here!
Heads to Namek to gather the Dragon Balls to revive his friends. Meanwhile, the others head toward King Kai planet. On Namek, Krillin faces numerous formidable foes who would make Saiyan Saga Vegeta look like a pushover. During his time here, he meets Elder Guru, who unlocks his potential, raising Krillin power level to over 13,000 initially, and later to 75,000. This makes Krillin stronger than both Saiyan Saga Goku and Vegeta, and according to Manga Legendario, a power level of 10,000 is enough to become a planet buster, officially making Krillin a planet buster now. Krillin's newfound strength allows him to face the Tyrant Lord Frieza, who has a power level of 1 million in his second form. In a near successful attempt, Krillin almost ends the saga with a destructive disc, demonstrating that his attack could work on opponents 13 times stronger than himself. He even managed to prolong the battle with second form Frieza by ducking and dodging, showcasing his impressive reaction time. But Krillin actually does have a real nice reaction time for a fighter of his caliber, which we'll see more throughout the series. It does make me wonder though, if Frieza stayed in his first form, could Krillin potentially beat him due to the fact how much he had second form Frieza sweating? Solar Flare, Destructive Disc combo go. We don't get much insight into how strong the human Z fighters became while training on King Kai Planet, since they mostly just make comments on Goku during the saga. There is some anime filler where they battled the Ginyu Force minus Ginyu, with Yamcha defeating Raccoon while Tien defeated Jace and Birder. Considering that Raccoon decimated Vegeta with a power level of over 30,000, this would imply that Yamcha and Tien became planet busters as well, but as I mentioned, it is anime filler. Next up is the Android Saga, where many important details often get overlooked but can help gauge everyone's strength up to that point. And I actually go pretty deep into these numbers in this video right here, but to make it short, remember when Android 19 and 20 mistake Yamcha for Goku based on power readings? These were androids prepping for Goku and even beyond it. And we take that into consideration, the last time they saw Goku was 4 years ago during the Vegeta battle, and since they stated they stopped watching by then, and thanks to good old mouth, we know that Goku got over 20 times stronger while training for the Vegeta fight. So we assume that Goku got 20 times stronger every year for 4 years straight, and this is lowballing Goku because Goku didn't train for the entire year, and we now have new means of training like gravity training. But we would end up with a power level of 1.2 billion, close to 1.3 billion. This is more than enough to solo Frieza, Mega Frieza, King Code, and even Super Saiyan Namek Saga Goku. This fits the levels of the Android Art characters too, because if you check out my King Code video, I concluded that Heart Virus Super Saiyan Goku equals Yardray Super Saiyan Goku, due to Tien thinking of it as the same power, and Piccolo and maybe Gohan being above this due to being able to handle Android 20, while Goku couldn't even handle 19. Like I said, I go deeper in this in my King Code video, which actually supports my most recent video. The rest of the Android arc, the human Z fighters are pretty featless. Krillin does put up a good fight against Firstborn Cell, but it is anime filler once again. And Tien does his famous Neo Tri-Beam moment against Sega Form Cell. While it doesn't do any damage, it does not come back. In the Buu Saga, they are once again mostly featless, but you consider the anime filler, Yamcha defeats Alibu, I think I said it right, who Pakun fought seriously while he casually one-shotted Perfect Cell. Yamcha even says that Krillin is stronger than him, and it also seems at this point in the story that Krillin is looked upon as the strongest human and is the only one that actually trying to do something still. This might also be because Tien pretty much ghosted everyone for the past 7 years, which is honestly a mood. I wish I could do that and not go broke. Entering Super, the human Z fighters, if we go strictly by manga scaling, are around star level, more likely dwarf star level, due to them being able to take on Frieza and Namek Saga Goku, who scale to that level. And if we go by anime continuity, then they are solar system busters, due to them being able to take on fighters stronger than Cell in the otherworld scene. Now, if you don't believe these anime only scenes, then you don't have to. I mean, if I gave 2 different scalings, but it won't really matter because Super, they become immensely much stronger than their Z counterparts. And what I'm finna tell y'all will put them above Vegito and Buu, the two strongest characters from Z. In Super, Krillin embarks on an intense training regimen with 18 and Goku to regain his fighting form for the tournament power. Krillin knows that he needs to be at his absolute best to compete against the formidable opponents. He takes it so seriously that he develops a new technique called Solar Flare times 100, which not only blinds his opponents, but completely remove all their senses. They can't even sense energy in the air no more after being hit by it. Using this technique, he is even able to defeat base Gohan, who recently had been training extremely hard. This is the same base Gohan who gave Lavender a beatdown even while blinded before his illness kicked in too hard. Lavender possibly scales above Basil, who could face Majin Buu. Now I know what you're about to say, Gohan was probably suppressed, right? Well, it gets hard to prove that, as Krillin later on goes on to face Goku and pushing him to Super Saiyan and even Super Saiyan Blue. But don't Blue allow Goku more control over his ki, right? So he can make his blue form even weaker than his Super Saiyan or even base form, right? Well, yes, while Goku can do this, there would be no reason for him to go Super Saiyan in the first place, which means that Goku viewed Krillin as a Super Saiyan level combatant, and this is just crazy. So let's say that Krillin is relative to base Goku. We know in the Battle of God Saga that Goku absorbed his God Ki into his base form, making his base form equal to his God form. This God Goku was clashing with the God of Destruction Beerus, which was going to destroy the entire macrocosm containing multiple universe-sized realms. This makes Krillin at the lowest universal plus, but most likely low multiversal. This is back even more in the anime version of the Tournament of Power, where Krillin is stated to be the strongest human there, which would include both Tien and Master Roshi. Master Roshi in the Tournament of Power would go into Seal Frost until Frost was able to reverse the technique on him. But if you haven't watched OG Dragon Ball, you would know that the Mafuba kills you after using it if the opponent is too strong. So that would mean the power difference between Master Roshi and King Piccolo was even greater than the power difference between Master Roshi and Frost. And this was Final Form Frost, who was relative to Super Saiyan Goku in the Universe 6 vs Universe 7 arc, and most likely got stronger later on. In the manga, there are even more feats that back up Krillin's strength, but do I really need to keep proving my point? Yamcha states in the More arc though that he is one of the 3 strongest humans, most likely below Tien and Krillin, but above Roshi, which would make that earlier feat apply to him and Tien as well. And the More arc just provide more and more feats for the human Z fighters. The superhero arc does have some scaling to it, but I don't like the counter for Krillin since Cell Max wasn't able to control his power consistently. If I had to guess, the strongest opponent they could take down would probably be Super Saiyan Goku from the Universe 6 vs Universe 7 arc, who would dominate all of Z in his base form. Now, is there a way to make him more stronger or more relevant in Dragon Ball Super? Could Kaioken, the old Kai ritual, or gravity training help? Well, it could have helped in Z, but now in Super, my answer is no. Kaioken now compared to the Saiyan forms would just be insignificant, and it's incredibly stressful on the body. Goku couldn't even use his ki properly for a week after using it. The old Kai ritual depends on their potential, which wouldn't be any higher than any other characters that we've seen so far in the series. The only real way to make him more stronger would probably get him a new form like Piccolo, but I feel like that for the humans would be a bit goofy. I think they placing the verse is perfect as it is, at least in my opinion. But there it is, in Dragon Ball Super, these human Z fighters have proven time and time again that they can stay alongside the best of the best. Their journey has been nothing short but remarkable, and while they may not be Saiyans or Namekians, they carved out their own place in the Dragon Ball universe. But that's all for this video. Make sure y'all tell me in the comment section below what y'all thought about it, and let me know y'all video suggestions. So make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to stay up to date to my content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.